Hey guys, and welcome to my tutorial. This one I'm gonna cover how to make a functioning bookshelf. It's taken me like 2 hours or something to try and figure it out, and the reason it took so long is because I figured out that I can't actually complete one of the steps. I know how to, do it, but I just can't physically do it myself. So you can pretty much split this up into 3 categories, which is creating the shelf, making the triggers so it all functions, and then keeping the books in the shelf, containing the books in the shelf, so they don't fly out. So first up, we're going to create a shelf. I'm just going to use common shelf 01. That's good enough. You can of course use whatever you want. And now we need to search for default bookshelf bookmarker, and then drag one of these in there. Now you arrange this however you want. This is the position your book will take once it's placed. So you can either line them up or just stack them. I'm only going to do 3 because it takes a while to set these up. You'll see in a second. If I did a whole row. Now once you've placed all these, you want to create another marker, and it's called player bookshelf container. Player bookshelf container, and drop this next to your bookshelf, but not in it at the moment. Now we're gonna right click the container, edit, linked references, and now you're gonna link the books to the container. So you double click, select reference in window, and click on your first book. The keyword, change it to bookshelf book 01, and just keep doing this for all the books, each time changing the keyword, up 1, so 02, 03, etc, until you've done all of your books. So that's pretty much the first section done already. Now we have to use the nafta. Now you have to use triggers so that you can actually use the shelves. So now you're going to click on the T in the cube and make the trigger. The first trigger is going to be called player bookshelf click. Ugh, I can't spell. Bookshelf click trigger. Okay. Just drag this so it's roughly the length of the shelf. Now we're going to right click this new trigger, edit, and link the reference to our container. And we're going to change the keyword to bookshelf container. And then press OK. Then before we exit, we're going to go to the primitive and click player activation, and then click OK. The next trigger, we're going to go back to the trigger creation button and called I'm sorry, it's late and I'm tired. Player bookshelf trigger. So not click trigger, just player bookshelf trigger. Okay. And then just move it out of the way at the moment, so you can work on it. And we're going to link it to our container. So again, right click, edit, linked references, double click, select reference. And we're not going to use a keyword here, I don't think. No. And then primitive, we're going to change this to L trigger, the collision layer, to L trigger, and then press OK. Now I'm just going to move this back into the shelf. It doesn't really have to be neat as long as they cover up the books. The book markers is fine. Now we're going to link the container to the bookshelf trigger, player bookshelf trigger. So right click, edit, and then link references, double click, select reference. I probably should have left it out because I can't find which one it is. So yeah, player bookshelf trigger, and then change the keyword to bookshelf trigger 01. Bookshelf trigger 01, okay, and okay. Now we can move this, we can move this into the bookshelf, and I think this is what you have to look at to place the books. Now this next part I can't actually do for some strange reason. I just can't place a collision object, a collision marker at all. Even searching and replacing, it just won't show up. But what you basically do is to stop the books falling out, you basically click on this icon here and you just drag a collision marker and place it in front of the shelf and fill the whole shelf. It can be thin, but as long as the books can't fall out anyway, it's alright. And then if you save that out, you just load it into Skyrim and test it, and you should get a working bookshelf. Alright, so I've loaded up my custom cell and I've picked up a few books that I had laying around. You might have to just create a bunch of random books to place. And now it should, yeah, you can place 3 more books on this shelf. And yeah, there we go, we have a functioning bookcase. See, if I had the collision layer at the edge of the shelf, they would neatly slot in, but now there's a risk that they can fall out, and you'd have to do the same for each of these shelves. It doesn't even have to be shelves, you can apply it to tables and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope I helped. If not, drop a comment below and I'll try and help you out. But thanks for watching.